Hello students, welcome to Pathak Computer Academy online classes. In the previous video, we learned about introduction to computer memory. Today we will see data and information. Okay, so the contents we covered are as follows. First of all, the introduction. After that, what is data and information? Then we will discuss the types of various data. And then what is data capturing, storage, and retrieval? After that, we will discuss data deletion and recovery. And at last, what is data security? Okay, so starting with the introduction. As we know that computer can store data in 0 or 1 form, either on or off. So whatever the instructions, pictures, songs, videos, or any other documents are considered as data. And that data can be raw and unorganized facts. And that unorganized facts and figures are processed by the CPU, and then we will get a meaningful information. So I think it is very clear. What is data? Data is unorganized facts and figures, but it should be a meaningful in respect of a particular field. I will discuss later on, don't worry. And the information is the processed data. Students, you have to be very careful that sometimes people use the terms data, information, and knowledge interchangeably, which is incorrect. All the three terminology have different meaning. Okay. So what is data? As I discussed, data is meaningful, known, raw facts and figures, which are then processed by the CPU, and we will get some information. Okay. So what it means? Sometimes you will see in various books that data should be meaningless. No, it should be a meaningful, but in terms of some particular field. Okay, as a layman, we know that, as an example, 5 is a digit, so it can be considered as data. Ram can be a lord of in Hindu terminology, or Ram can be a name of anyone. So again, it is understandable that Ram is a data. Now here plus again, we know that it is an arithmetic operation, addition. So again, it is very known to us that it is a data. But what is this? A, B, B, A, some combination of letters. But it is unpredicted that what it is for a layman. But if I am talking about the student who are related to automata, then that student can easily understand that this string is related to an input to a particular machine. That's why I am again saying that data should be meaningful. Okay? And after that, that data are processed according to the instruction given by the user to the CPU, and then some information we get from the system or CPU. Clear? So now what is information? As I already told you, manipulation of raw facts and figures in some particular manner. Then we get something, and that is known as information. So here you can see that there are three individual datas: RAM, pipe, and pen. Now, these data are processed and we get a particular sentence in English, that is, Ram has 5 pens. So, what we get? We get an information that there is a person known as Ram and he has a collection of pens and that quantity is 5. Okay. So it is very clear to you what is data and what is information. So now move on further. What is the difference between data, information, and knowledge? So data means raw facts and figures, as we already discussed. Information is processed data, again discussed. But what is knowledge? Knowledge is what we know from the information. So in the previous example, we know about a person Ram that have a collection of pens and that quantity is 5. This knowledge is gettable from processed data. Clear? So here again I have given some example. Data is 100, okay, no issue. Now information is 100 miles or 100 kilometers. So it represents some distance. Now, what is the knowledge? What we get? We get that 100 miles is quite a far distance. Clear? And what is wisdom? Again, one terminology that we usually used, wisdom. It is very difficult to walk 100 miles by a person. But for a vehicle, it is okay. So I think it is very clear to you what is data, what is information, and what is knowledge. Data means raw facts and figures. Information is processed data, and knowledge is what we know or what we get from that processed data. So now I'm going to discuss types of data. In current scenario, there are various sources of data. And based on that sources, the various different formats are available for data. Data can be an image. Data can be a video, which is made up of various frames. Data can be a collection of numeric and non-numeric characters. Data can be audio or any other thing. So based on different sources and different formats, we can categorize three types of data, which is structured data, unstructured data, and then semi-structured data. So I'm going to discuss each of them separately. So what is structured data? As the name suggests, the data should follow a strict structure either to store or to fetch or to display. For example, your MS Excel file. In your MS Excel file, data are arranged in row and columns, which are very structured. You cannot go beyond that. Other than this, for computer students, you know very well about SQL, Structured Query Language, which is basically used to manage data in a particular database that can be Oracle, DB2, MySQL, etc. So here I have given the example, structured data related to a number of attendance for a particular student maintained by the teacher. Okay. Now, what is unstructured data? As we discussed, that there is no particular format like rows and columns or some other particular format. Okay. So, unstructured data is not organized. Thus, it is not a good fit for a relational database. For example, audio and video files, graphics, text document, social media posts like comments, likes, satellite images, all are of different formats and they have to taken care of differently. So all these data cannot be kept in a single particular file. So to handle unstructured data, we have to taken care of different strategies. And at last, there is a semi-structured data. Some data are structured and some data are unstructured. That are in the category of semi-structured data. For example, you easily see a comma separated value, CSV files in various websites or HTML page. Whenever you create an HTML page, some terminology or some syntax are predefined. It means it is structured, but some information are put in a different way that cannot be defined. So that are unstructured format. And here you can see that XML is widely used to store and exchange semi-structured data. It allows to use user-defined tags. In HTML, you have to bound with inbuilt tags. You have to use that one. But in XML, based on your requirement, you can create your own tags and attributes and then store that data in a particular hierarchical form. So I think it is very clear what is structured, what is unstructured, and what is semi-structured. In the above classes, you will see how they are stored in a particular fashion. Now I am going to discuss a next topic, that is data capturing, storage, and retrieval. As we know that first thing is to be done, that data should be input to the system. Means you have to capture that data. After that, what is to be followed? That data should be stored in a particular file or database for future reference. And at last, retrieval means fetching the data based on some particular condition. For example, I want a list of students who are absent yesterday. Okay, so that can be possible with the help of retrieval. So I'm going to discuss each of them separately. So what is data capturing? Again, data capturing is the process of extracting information from any type of structured or unstructured document to transform it into a machine readable digital format. Clear? And that capturing can be done with simple instruments like keyboard, barcode readers that are usually you see in various shopping malls, or comments and likes over social media platform, etc. Sometimes you have to capture heterogeneity data. Means heterogeneous data means different formats of data, and that create a greater complexity to capture that data. Okay, now data storage. It is the process of storing the captured data for processing later. Whatever you have captured in the form of digitally 0 and 1 form, that are to be stored for processing, and that processing can be done right now or on a later stage. Nowadays, you can see that a rate of producing data is very high. Okay, keep on social media are working, likes and comments are posted by everyone in a single minute of frame. Therefore, data storage has become a challenging task. However, the decrease in the cost of digital storage devices has helped in simplifying this task. Nowadays, you can purchase a huge amount of hard disk in a very few amount. Okay, but again, data keeps on increasing with time, hence storage devices also required to be up to date periodically. You have to increase your storage devices. Now, at last, what is data retrieval? It involves fetching data from the storage devices. What is fetching data? As per the requirement of the user, processing is to be done by the CPU, and that particular information or data is to be fetched out. As I have given the example that I want a list of students who are absent yesterday. So there are a lot of data in your data storage. You have to put some condition so that a particular information is fetching out only. So data retrieval is the process of identifying and extracting data from a database based on what query. Query means whatever the user wants. And that query is to be applied with some application like Oracle, MySQL, DB2, etc. One thing is to be remembered that data should be fetched in an acceptable time. If data is fetching out beyond the limit time, then there is no use of that data. For example, if Pakistan is planning to fire some weapon or to start some war, then that information should be reach out to the Indian government or Indian military before the execution of the Pakistani military. If the information came out after that, then there is of no use. Okay. So minimizing data access time is very crucial. That's why you are always seeing that the internet speed of 2G is slow. After that, 3G is come, and nowadays 4G speed is going on. So buffering is not there, but in 3G or 2G, buffering is a lot. Your data are going to be downloaded in a very long period of time. So it is not acceptable. That's why keep on changing the technology, the mechanism through which data can be accessed in a acceptable time. Now, this is done. Now, the next topic is data deletion and recovery. So, what is deletion? As the name suggests, the biggest threats associated with digital data is its deletion. That deletion can be done by you for some specific purpose, like you have to free some memory storage, or sometimes storage devices can malfunction or crash down so that your data can be lost. Other than this, the biggest threat is the stolen of your data and then deleted that data by some hackers. Okay. So deleting digital storage data means changing the details of data at bit level. If you have done some mistake or you have done some modification on a bit level, then the data cannot be recovered or data cannot be fetched. So the new mechanism is to be introduced, that is known as recovery. Can we recover our deleted data due to any means, either corrupted data or deleted by yourself or some malfunctioning done by the hackers? So there are two terminology, what is data deletion and what is data recovery. So data deletion is the process of deleting or removing data from computers. Again, sometimes it is required when there is no such use of data. So user can free space to acquire new data, or sometimes data can be deleted due to some few reasons such as virus attack, OS files may corrupt data, etc. Clear? So how to delete data by yourself? This is very simple. Open that folder from where data or files to be deleted. Press the delete button from the keyboard or right click and choose the delete option. That's it. Your data is moved to the recycle bin. Recycle bin is the area where the deleted data are stored by the computer system. So that if sometimes you mistakenly deleted that data, then that data can be recovered from the recycle bin. Sometimes data need to be deleted permanently. And what is to be done? You can use shift plus delete, shift and delete button at once to delete it from the recycle bin. Okay. And what is data recovery? As the name suggests, data recovery is the process of accessing deleted, lost, or corrupted data from the storage device. So first means you can recover your data from the recycle bin. This is the mechanism given by the Windows. Okay. Sometimes Windows operating system provides backup utilities to restore data. Okay. System restore is the functionality given by the Windows operating system you usually use, or some other functionality like using backup, preparing backup in Windows 7, create a system image. You can create a system image that can be stored separately in your pen drive or another storage devices. And if your system get corrupted, then with the help of system image, you can again install all your data in your system. And at last, there is a mechanism to create a system repair disk. There is a inbuilt functionality to repair your disk. Okay. So these are done by the professional users. Now, at last, I'm going to discuss what is data security. As you know that data is on everywhere. So you have to very careful to use that data in various platforms. So security is to be enabled in your system, in your mobiles, in your laptops, etc. So that unauthorized access of data cannot be done. Okay. So Windows provides some functionality I have listed over here, that username and password. Whenever you log in your system, then there is a functionality that you can create username and password so that system can be opened only after providing valid username and password. After that, there is a functionality to limit the access control. That can be done by your administrator. The operating system administrator can restrict some files and folders to be shared by anyone or a network, deny permission on file or folders. Okay. After that, various companies provide a hardware firewall. Firewall software is also installed in your computer system, and that firewall is basically used what data are going out from your computer system to the network and what data are actually coming from the network to your system. This can be managed with the help of firewall. Data security can be increased by doing Windows update regularly. Why? Because various patch or virus definition is to be installed regularly from the website of Microsoft so that your operating system is up to date. And at last, virus protection. For virus protection, you have to install some antivirus. And that antivirus protect your system against any unwanted activity. Clear? So I think for today it is done. Today we learned about what is data and information. And after that we learned about various types of data. And then we discussed about data capturing, storage, and retrieval mechanism. And at last we discussed about data deletion, recovery, and security. In the next class, we will start software and its types in detail. Thank you very much.